Hey guys, it's Zach from Myshire Farm. So we are actually at a park. Um, my kids, I have 5 kids, all of them are in Taekwondo, and they are doing a benefit tonight for the police, local police, a fundraiser. So we are here. I decided to come to the van and take a break because I didn't want everybody staring at me acting like I'm crazy talking to my phone. And then and it's really loud. They've got music and all kinds of stuff like that. So I am a couple minutes early. Um, so what I wanted to talk to you today about is um, when you know, when is it time to upgrade? When is it time to increase production? And so we go a very slow route. There's many different ways to do things. But what we do is, for example, we have 50 hens in a colony cage. And so, let's say I have 5 cages of jumbo wilds, right? Well, 5 times 5 is 250. So I have 250 hens. So let's say I get 200 eggs a day of the jumbos. Now I get more and I have a lot more cages, but let's just use this as an example. So with that example, I would want to be sold out of eggs continuously, and be about a week to a week and a half out on all jumbo orders for about 6 months. Could be 3 months, but I usually do 6 months before I decide to increase. And then that way I know that the supply or the demand is there, so that when I increase supply, which is increasing expenses, then I know that I'll be able to afford that. So that was my little spiel. I'm opening it up for questions. And then and when you guys are done asking questions, what I'll do is just start walking back, and when I get to the front door or close to it, then I'll just sign off. Oh, there's my alarm saying that I need to get on. So I am a couple minutes early, but if you guys have questions now, you're more than welcome to ask. So any questions right now? Can't get that light out of my eyes. There we go. Any questions? We'll be answering any questions as far as how to take care of them, how to raise them, how to incubate them, how to sell them, how to market, how to advertise. We'll do some, I'd be willing to talk about genetics and things like that. So the floor is yours. Go ahead and ask any questions you got, and we'll go from there. So like I mentioned in the other video, I will be doing this all week. I am aware that there might be a day or two that's very slow, not a lot of questions. That is completely okay. This is mainly for you guys. So, if Tuesday wasn't a good day, then tomorrow we'll pick it back up. But I just wanted to be available for you guys. I do know that when I started, up until about a year ago, I was much more involved as far as interacting and things like that goes. I would personally send you in a text your tracking number, a picture of it and things like that, and communicate with you. I've kind of gotten away from that because when we're shipping 20 orders a day and it's taken me, 10 seconds to take a picture of each label, and then I'm messaging it to you, it's just, that adds up. So that had to be cut out, but you guys still get the tracking. I'm currently hatching my Bob White breeders to break into the market next year. What can I... No! Oh crap, I lost it. I should probably learn how to do. Yeah, I can't see that message anymore. I'm very sorry. Can you ask again? It went away and I don't know how to get it back. I'm sorry. Now we do not, um, found it. Bring to the market next year. What can I do to get a successful start wanting to sell chicks and eggs? So we've raised bob whites before. We got out of it. We decided that we just wanted to do we just wanted to specialize in Coturnics. We might open that up down the road, way down the road. But right now the Coturnics keep me pretty busy as it is. So obviously we sell on our website. I really recommend everybody, if you're going to invest into your business, you really should have a website. Technology and things like that is definitely the way of the future. So I know a lot of people that don't have websites that do fine, but yeah, I would definitely get a website together. If it's just informational, that's good. So we obviously sell on the website. We sell on eBay. We sell on Craigslist. We have our local orders. I've got a helicopter that's landing right in front of me, so you might not be able to hear me. Wow, that is close as close can be. Cool. Sorry guys, I was preoccupied. I don't think I've ever seen a helicopter land that close to me. Anyways, so we have a website, we have eBay, we have Craigslist, we have local orders. I sell on Facebook, through, person to person. And then we've got the auction site. So we sell in many different forms. You want to be very versatile in the way that you sell. And you need to think of it as like a big pie, right? So your entire revenue, your entire sales is just one big piece of pie. Very few people that I know eat an entire pie in one session. They cut it up in slices. So you want different markets. Each market would be a different piece of the pie. My belief is you want to cut it up in as many pieces as you can, but you always want to make sure that a large piece is local. You always want to make sure that your local business is the strongest foundation. That needs to be your foundation in selling. The reason I say that is what happens if by chance the USPS says no more hatching eggs, we're not shipping hatching eggs anymore. What if Facebook says no more selling animals and takes me out? What if eBay says no more live animals, no more eggs? Well, I just lost a huge piece of that pie. So I have to keep my corporate accounts happy, not necessarily because I enjoy that part of it, because there's not a lot of interaction and I like interacting with you guys, but it's our backup. It's our savings account, I guess you could say. So yeah, you want to have many different avenues of selling, but you really want to start and focus on your local area. Doing my first hatch for my own birds. Very excited. My question is, can I breed the new chicks with the ones I already have? Yes, you can. There's many different ways of breeding. You can inbreed, you can crossbreed. There's a couple more. You can do a bunch of different stuff. If you're not a very organized person, you have to discipline yourself to be organized about this. Because it is kind of hard to inbreed with quail. It takes a lot longer to inbreed quail and get negative results than it is most other animals. However, if you're just haphazardly doing it, it's gonna really mess you up. So you wanna go back and forth, So for example, uh, we've got our SSC line, right? We've got our Schofield Silvers. We've got multiple cages of them. And so when we're making our new breeders, we're taking, you know, cage 1, cage 2, cage 3, we're marking them in there. And then when we put them in the new cages, we're putting cage 1 in with cage 3, we're putting cage 2 in with cage 1, and so on and so forth. So there's not inbreeding going on. But we do inbreed once a year for purposes that we chose that are important to us. So yeah, just make sure you do it for a reason. I did not get a notification. I'm glad I checked. Yeah. Sorry. I am not on my phone. I'm on Jenna's phone because my phone died. So that could be it. I don't know. Talking about snakes, we had a snake in the quail barn just the other day. Alyssa, my daughter, owns a snake. She owns a ball python. And she feeds it some males a couple times a month. And she came outside and was like, "Can I borrow a male?" And I said, "Or can I take a male?" I said, "Sure." So she went in there to grab it and then walked out with a big snake she was just holding in her hand. And I'm like, I'm not breeding those. And she's like, "No, it walked in after me." I was like, "Well, get rid of it." So she took it somewhere else. But this is definitely the season where things start acting up. Hold on, lost it again. I really did lose. Oh, there we go. Can you give some hints to linking up with falconry people or Department of Natural Resources people? Be patient. Be patient. Networking. You want to network a lot. You can do that through all the social media. I know we've had a couple falconry customers on Facebook, but our normal account for falconry, 3-4 times a year, but buys in bulk, was on Instagram. Actually, they found us on Instagram. And then you have to be proactive, so the people that found us on Instagram are people that are in charge of the Ohio Falconry Association or whatever. So luckily that worked out for us, but we've also talked to some wildlife preserves and things like that. And you have to just keep following up, and eventually someone will listen to you. Keep selling them the benefits though. Hey, just wanted to ask you, how do I get the silver to breed true? We do not try to breed the silver true, because when you do that, which you can, and it's selective breeding, when you do that, you lose all of the different colors. So I kind of mentioned this yesterday in the other video, but so the SSCs are my favorite because you get the charcoal and you get the silver pharaoh and you get the silver and gold and you get lavender and Andalusian, and you just get a bunch of different colors. And I love that. And if we wanted them to breed true, number one, it would take forever to breed each one of them true. And I just don't have the patience for that. But if we just take, the lavender, or if we just take the Andalusian and we say, well, this is the only one we want to breed true, let's scrap everything else. It takes years to do. And I just like the various colors that comes out of it. But selective breeding. Any other questions right now? I've been on for 15 minutes. I'll wait a couple minutes to see if you guys have any questions, and then I'll start heading back over to the party. But we can talk. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask now. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. While I'm waiting on a question, in case there is any more, we can talk about what does breed true. Very few colors breed true. Jumbo Wilds breed true. Whites can breed true. None of these are automatically breeds true. You have to work on it. But the ones that we have that breed true, that's a good question. So the silvers, to get the snowy, the snowy is a silver quail with the phi gene. So you want to take, I guess you could take the pearl and put it over the silver and get the same result. But how we did it was we had German pastel males with silver hens, and that's how we got the snowy. Do you find that you get more males than females when you hatch? You know, we keep track of all of our hatches, and it sure seems like you get a lot more males, but overall, I would say we probably have, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it would be close to 60-40 when we hatch. I have done like 3 hatches of the sex links in the past couple of weeks, and I think it was like 60-40. So you will get a couple more males, but it's not a sign. I mean, we've had people that ordered eggs and got all males, and we've had people that order eggs and got all hens. So, but usually that's not the case. I have a quail chick with something growing under their feet. Do you know what that is? Something growing under their feet. I guess I don't really know what that means. I'm sorry. But it's probably bumblefoot. I would assume it's bumblefoot. Usually the 2 feet issues are like balls of poop when they're in the brooder. And then that's easy to take care of. That's easy to get off, which is why we went to wire, so we don't have to worry about it, because they spill the water and stand right next to it, and then the bedding and the poop and everything gets right next to the water, and you know, they get the balls of the feet, but that's easy to take off. Bumblefoot is pretty much an infection is what it is. And what happens is they're on the wire, they scrape their foot, and then obviously they're not the most sanitary birds. So, you know, an infection gets in there and then it puffs up, and it's just like any other infection. So if you do want to fix it, typically what you need to do is antibiotics, and then you do want to extract the infection out. What do you consider a successful hatch rate? 50, 75, 87? For us, we could do better when we hatch. We're not as... we could do better. I don't monitor it as much as I should, because I've got so much other stuff going on. But we average... We do candle every order. Or every time we go in, and we've maintained an 87% fertility rate for years. It's been at least a year and a half that I know of that we've had at least an 87% fertility rate every week. I think out of every week in the past year and a half, we had 1 week that was really low, and that was my mistake. So, but that got fixed pretty quick. As far as hatch rate goes, I am fine with an 80-85%. We've never had an exact 100%, but I do know of at least a minimum of 20 of our customers that we've shipped to that's gotten 100%. We just never have. If you're hatching your own, I would say 80% is standard. If you're shipping, technically the statistics shows that whether it's quail eggs or chicken eggs or whatever, 50% on shipped eggs is the standard. Now we guarantee the standard, but our average for the year on shipped eggs is 64%. So we're way well above the standard, and that is not by accident. We continue to, I mean, it's an everyday process. I had a white chick hatch that has one eye closed. What is this? Can I do anything to help it? What's the best way to call business hatching eggs for sale or eating eggs or both? Well, let's, I had a white chick hatch that has one eye closed. If you want to get with me individually, I would need to see pictures of it and see if I can help you. My number is 937-760-7282. And just text me and I'll get with you either tonight or tomorrow, and we'll try to figure it out. What's the best way call business hatching eggs for sale or eating eggs or both? I think I understand the question. It's been a long day. I'm sorry, guys. That's a really hard question. That might be the best question I've had in the past 2 days. That is a very hard question. Well, all right, so I can tell you my experience, okay? It's kind of long, but hopefully this will help a ton of people because we learned the hard way. So, we started selling, and then Jenna started the business. I took over the sales, and then summer and fall I was selling everything we got. And then when I was working, when I had a normal job, November, December, January, February, March, fourth and first quarter of the year was always my busiest. And I just never, I mean, I was working 80 hours a week, so I just didn't have time to sell. I just didn't have time. And so we sold some, but I remember literally throwing away wheelbarrows full of eggs because I just didn't sell them. And that was rough. And Jenna was like, I just don't know what to do. I don't, obviously we don't have enough eggs when you're selling, but when you're not selling, we can't throw wheelbarrows of eggs away, all throughout the winter. It's just, so she took it upon herself. She did some Craigslist ads. She got our corporate account started, and completely took over that. And obviously you sell eating eggs for a lot less than you would sell, well, not everywhere. In Ohio, here in my market, we sell eating eggs for a whole lot less than we sell hatching eggs. So when I quit, we decided that we were going to build the new barn. When we build the new barn, we're going to have triple the eggs, right? So when I have triple the eggs, I'm going to need those eating egg orders, and I definitely will need those corporate accounts through the slow times. But I also want to make sure that I be able to take care of everybody online also. So when I quit, we decided that we were going to stop selling the eating eggs for a while, because I can make a lot more on the hatching eggs, and that's kind of what I enjoy doing anyway. So until we got the walls up in the new barn, we didn't really sell any eating eggs, except for a couple of our old customers that we just couldn't say no to. Now, with that being said, we did start picking up our corporate orders about a month or two ago, because our new quail barn will be done soon, and I want them to be very happy, because I'm gonna need them down the future. So you want to balance, I guess. But again, selling eating eggs is so much easier than selling hatching eggs. You don't have to worry about shipping. You don't have to worry about hatch rates. You don't have to worry about advertising very much. I mean, it's a whole lot. It's a time saver if you just sell eating eggs, but you're not going to make as much either. So it really depends on what you want out of it. You know, if you just want this to be a little side business where you're making a couple $100s a month extra, and it's paying for the quail and maybe your other animals on the farm, eating eggs would definitely be the way to go. If you want this to be a part-time business, or if you want to scale up to quitting your job, or if you want to supplement your income by a couple $1,000s a month, then you would probably need to go with the hatching eggs. Really good question. My last hatch from you was about 70%. Awesome. Were they shipped? I would assume they are, but that's great. 70% on shipped eggs is absolutely phenomenal. I have an egg that is growing inside my... just logged on. My question is what you would recommend getting started what quail. Wow, I'm sorry, hold on. Just logged on. My question is what you would recommend in just getting started with quail. What quail? Got it. Sorry. Wow, I don't know why that was so hard for me. I would recommend... again, this is kind of an individual basis. So, honestly, I would probably recommend the Jumbo Wilds. I know they're kind of boring. You know, they're not all the fun colors. A lot of people have them. You know, I would say 80-90% of the market is jumbos, you know. But they're great for meat. They're amazing eggs. They're prolific layers. They're the most hardy quail that we carry. So they're easy to take care of. Chick fatality is extremely low in the Jumbo Wilds. That's a great starter. A lot of people just want to have fun with it, and in that case I would do mix. You know, I would just get a bunch of mixed colors because they all can cohabitate together, and just have fun with it. So it kind of depends on what you're doing. If you're doing it to start your business, I would say start with the jumbos and then add colors as you go. If you just want to have fun and supply for your family and your friends or whatever, then do a mix. Absolutely. You said you sell eating eggs cheaper than hatching. What's the cost of a dozen of each? In the last video you said there's a market, and that opened my eyes. For hatching eggs, they are anywhere from 50 cents to $1. The rares are $1, everything else is 50 cents. I'm getting quite a bit of pressure to raise the prices on the jumbos because they are much larger eggs. I really believe that they are superior to almost everything else that's out there. I'm very, very happy with our jumbos. And they eat quite a bit more than the other colors, but they're a lot larger. But I think they haven't convinced me, so we're gonna leave that at 50 cents. But our rares are $1 because that takes years for us to create. So hatching eggs are 50 cents to $1. Our corporate accounts, we sell those for 40 cents, so a little bit less, but we did negotiate. But they do buy in bulk, and we do free delivery. So if you count the time to do it all, and you count the drive time and everything, I think it comes down after expenses, it's like 32 cents. So it's significantly less, but it is bulk, and it's steady income. But yes, before I go further, there is a market. Don't let anyone tell you. That drives me crazy. Don't let anyone tell you that there's not a market. You can create whatever market you want. Some are easier than others, some are harder than others. But you have the ability, you have the power to create a market. If you create excitement, if you create benefits, If it's a good price point. I mean, I get a lot of phone calls saying, well, no one wants quail in my area. No, they just don't know they do yet. You know, you got to be aggressive with that. But there's always a market. There's always a market. You said, okay. Are you eating eggs fertile, or do you separate males and females? Our eating eggs are fertile. They do not go in the incubators, so there's nothing in them. Just a little bullseye. But yes, our eating eggs my main priority is to make sure everything is fertilized at all times. But we collect every day. So there's no eggs just laying around sitting for a week, you know what I mean? Or even 3 days. But I collect every morning at the same time. I do the same routine because that's just what I do. But yes, all of our eggs are fertilized. Most of our corporate accounts really like the fertilized eggs because technically fertilized eggs are a little bit healthier for you. And so we sold that benefit to them, and so they love it. Yes, they were shipped 110 eggs. 70% on 110 eggs shipped is absolutely awesome. Congratulations, you did a great job. What pitch is the bottom of the cages so the eggs roll out? I don't remember. I'm really sorry. I did know this. And I know I have it at home, but I had to go to this function. I don't remember. I'm very sorry. But I will do my very best to remember to look it up as soon as I get home, and I will mention it on the video tomorrow, or you can text me and I will look it up as soon as I get home and text you back. I can't remember though. I can't remember. There's a number in my head, but I'm not comfortable saying that. So you can text me. It's 937-760-7282, and I can respond to you tonight when I get home. It'll probably be a little late, or I'll mention it on the video tomorrow. Sorry. I don't know if you already said, but how much do you sell eating eggs for? 40 cents each. I have a bachelor pen outside to grow out of the males for eating. Is there any way to keep them from beating each other up? No. No, they're just super aggressive, and they'll mate anything. They're kind of jerks. The males are. Hens are usually super sweet though, but the males. No, our bachelor pad, until they go to freezer camp or retirement, is they don't look so good. But I can't keep, you know. We've tried multiple things, putting less in there, putting more in there. We've tried to separate them all. We try to give them a huge space, and they just flock to each other and beat each other up. No, the males are gonna hurt each other. Super aggressive. Today, start hatching eggs. You send me. Thank you. I'll let you know. Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. I hope that goes well for you. Keep me posted. I guess. So it's 34 minutes on this video. Oh, sorry guys. Phone went to 20%. I guess I'll plug you in. So, sorry, we're at 34%. I'm gonna plug you in and I'm gonna cover the screen for a minute. There we go. I don't feel like that's working. There we go. All right, so what kind of permit we need to sell eggs? I get that question a lot. Every state is different. So in Ohio, we have our egg producer's license, our small egg producer's license. We do have to upgrade next year to the large egg, but they allowed us to keep the small egg producer's license, which I think it's 500 hens. 5, I don't remember. Anyways, we have to upgrade next year. But they let us keep it for this year because we had already paid through, and they're super cool. But that's all we need is small egg producer license. We do not sell the meat to businesses because you have to be USDA in Ohio, and that's just a huge waste of life. That thing is just ridiculous. When we were building the new quail barn, we were looking into seeing if we could be USDA approved. And in Ohio, we would have to build a separate office for the USDA person to come out and sit there while we butchered, and had to pay him like $165 an hour to watch us butcher. We would never, I mean, we'd lose money. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. So, but in Ohio, all we need to do to sell to businesses is our small egg producer's license and have business insurance to sell hatching eggs in Ohio to individuals. You need nothing. To ship across state lines, you need to be NPIP, National Poultry Improvement Plan. National Poultry Improvement Plan. Ooh. So they pretty much come out, test your birds, check out your facility, and then give you the power to ship all throughout the U.S. And that's just with Coturnix. Now with Bob Whites, we have to have permits and we have to do monthly stuff, and it's just not. But that's just Coturnix. I'm hatching my own autumn ambers. They are currently hatching now. I got 7 already. I know they don't hatch true. What is considered the correct color? What is considered the correct color? I'm hatching my own autumn ambers. They are currently hatching now. I got 7 already. Actually, autumn ambers should hatch almost, I mean, you should be getting an 80 to 85% hatch of autumn ambers. The rest of them will probably be, you might get an Egyptian here and there, possibly a scarlet, or Italians or golden Manchurians. But most of them should be autumn ambers. Autumn ambers are pretty much an Italian quail, with the roux de luce is pretty much what an autumn amber is. I don't know how heavy are your A&Ms. We don't have A&Ms. We have jumbo whites, and our jumbo whites are 10 to 12 ounces. Not super happy with their egg size, but I'm working on that now. So hopefully this time next year, our jumbo whites, I will be as proud of our jumbo whites as we are as our jumbo wilds. But right now our jumbo wilds are superior in every manner of the word. And I like the jumbo wilds more anyway, which is why I focus on them more, because they're feather sexable. They're always going to be larger. I've never seen, I mean, I've seen some white birds that get really big, but I've never seen whites consistently as large as jumbos, wilds, ever. But their egg size can definitely improve, which I will work on, but I'm just not a big fan of the whites because they're not feather sexable, and you get more meat from the jumbo wilds, and you can sex them out so much earlier. So plus that's how we get our sex linked, and you know, I just like the wilds. I feel like you're keeping me out of the loop. Tell me about the conveyors. I cannot. Sorry. That is something that we discussed, and we really do want to help you guys. We want to see you guys make money. We want to see you get excited about quail. We want to see you in the business, you know, because I think that's what we're missing, is we're missing people just not knowing how great the quail business is, or how great the eggs are, or how healthy they are, or how easy they are to raise, and things like that. But there's certain things that we have an advantage on, and that is one of them, and we just can't give it up. I really want to, I kind of want to, I don't really want to. I'm really all over the place on it, but I did talk to the rest of the team. I did not build the conveyors, Papa did, and we've had multiple long talks about it, and we just don't think it's a good idea for us to give that out. Are jumbo wilds easy to tell male from female? Yes, they are. At 3 weeks old, you can tell if they're male or female. Rusty chest means male. Pattern chest means hen, and that is any of the feather sexable quail. I did get a couple questions last night. What quails are feather sexable? So I can go over that real quick. If I am done with this and there's no other questions, then I will end it early. But if there's more questions, feel free to keep on going. So feather thank you for your answer, and thank you for all the information you're all. Not a problem. Thank you for paying attention and caring. So the feather sexable quail is jumbo wilds, Egyptians, Italians, golden Manchurians, pearls, fab fees. I'm going through my cages. Sex linked, autumn ambers, sparklies, and snowies. Yes, that is all the feather sexables that we have. Everything else is not feather sexable. So like right now I'm out on the website as far as all the live birds go, but that's the difference between teens and the breeder sets. The teens are non-feather sexable. The breeder sets are. They're the same age, but I know what I'm sending you, where the other colors I literally don't for another 4 weeks or 3 weeks. What should be a good number to start out with on jumbo wilds? I did a video about the calculations on that might help, but long story short, let's say you order 120, right? Let's say you get a 50% hatch rate. That's 60 quail left. Half of those statistically will be males. That means you have 30 hens, right? Out of those 30 hens, let's say you get 20, I would say 20, let's just say 25 eggs a day. It's a little optimistic, but let's just say 25 eggs a day to make math easy. So with that being said, do you think you can sell more than 25 eggs a day? Or are you going to use them also? Because if that's the case and you have a family of 4, 25 eggs is not going to take you very long. However, starting with 110 count, you know, I mean, that's quite a bit of eggs to take care of. So it really just depends on how much size you have, how much experience you have with incubating and raising animals and things like that. But I usually recommend a 110 count to start, just because I think that's a good amount for you to have. And then at the end of the day, with 30 hens, that's a good amount of eggs that you're getting to cook with, bake with, eat, sell, give out, things like that. Good question. Any other questions before I let you go? It is my live feed says 43:57. I will wait until 45 in case there's no other questions, and then I will sign off, and we'll do it tomorrow again at 7 p.m. If you have a question, just ask, but in this next 50 seconds, I am going to talk to you about you know, how many to start with and things like that. If you decide to start a business, if you decide you want to start selling, there is nothing wrong. You are not going to make money overnight. You have to grow your reputation. So with that being said, you have to go into grocery stores. You have to go into businesses. You have to go to zoos and falconry places and things like that, pet stores, and you have to give them samples. I know a lot of people that are like, I'm not giving anything away for free. It's like, but if they don't know you, they don't trust you. And if they don't trust you, they're never going to buy from you. So you're hurting yourself in the long run. When we started, I did a ton of giveaways. I did a ton of giveaways on the website or on Facebook. I did a couple giveaways on the auction group. I did a ton. I don't even know how much I gave away with local businesses and things like that. But it grew us to what we are now. And I don't, could we have gotten there without doing all the free stuff? It would have been a lot harder and it would have taken a lot more time. So I don't regret it at all. Thanks for everything. I will tune in tomorrow for more questions. Awesome. Thanks, Jimmy. All right, guys, it's 45. If there's no other questions, I'm going to sign off. I really, really appreciate you guys joining in today. The questions started really slow, but there was a lot of great questions in there. So keep them coming tomorrow. And we do not sell celadons. I have them, but I'm not selling them until they're perfect, and I don't know if I'll ever get there. I've been working on it for a really long time, and I'm almost giving up on it. But one day. But yes, I do have celadons, we just don't sell them. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. Thanks for spending time with me, and hopefully I helped you guys. Come back tomorrow, tell your friends, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.